observations in architecture school is that the city doesn't stop building itself, and that can be complicated in understanding how construction companies and contractors get to do those jobs and get to do those contracts, and what were the decisions that shaped that process. I've always been a little jealous of construction workers for that reason. They work on a scale vastly different than I do through my chosen practice as an art student. Most of my work is sculpture, drawings, maps, photos, largely 35mm color. And the way that I describe to people my process is that I work as a pseudo-architect or a paper architect or urban planner, and I focus on the built environments, motifs, and arrangements. And so driving a lot of my research now is an investigation into chairs and how they become these fixed motifs that can then be arranged or rearranged in new combinations in public spaces like parks, plazas, and sort of thinking about how to break down this interior versus exterior sense. So I go through the world, I dwell in it, I have thoughts that no one else does, but here's this exterior space we all participate in as citizens in an urban environment. And one challenge for me is, how do I bring that into the gallery? How do I represent that authentically? How do I sort of become an investigator by dwelling, a researcher by looking at built forms and trying to develop a lexicon of what's happening? And I think chairs is one way of doing this, to develop a sort of framework for how they can be used in a gallery that mimics but doesn't overtake the sense of being outside while inside at the same time. And so that confusion and that back and forth is something I like to instigate. I definitely don't want to love my answers to death, but I think that there's something compelling to giving agency to people in a space like this that's heavily programmed. And one of my developments along this line is with the chair, just seeing it as an undemanding object that doesn't impinge upon us. It is what it is.